Good evening, good evening, good evening to all my fearless peeps. Happy Fearless Friday, happy Faithful Friday, happy Focus Friday. Whatever Friday you want it to be, that's what it's going to be on this Fearless Friday, guys. Okay, so on this segment, we have love and marriage. We got love and marriage going on. And I have some special guests up in this piece, okay? I'm so excited and I cannot wait to chit chat with them. The first couple I am going to introduce, okay? Because they are the veterans of our group. So we got to introduce the veterans first. They have been married for 9 wonderful years. 9 wonderful years. And when I say that they go hard in the paint with their marriage, they go hard in the paint with their marriage. So we're going to introduce Mr. and Mrs. Antoine Nickerson and Mrs. Antera as well. Welcome, welcome. This other couple, huh?
I just
go ahead. You ain't said anything?
No, I was just saying thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this next couple, I'm gonna call them the freshies up in this piece because they the freshies up in this piece, and they still got a little milk in their mouths right now. So I know they into that lovey-dovey type stuff, but they still go through stuff that's like everybody else. They have been married for 1 year, so give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Alfred Rucker and Miss Brianna. And next, I'm going to go ahead and introduce them. They are going through some technical difficulties, but it is okay. They're going to get them technical difficulties ready, and they're going to be all right. So this couple, they have been married for 5 years. They've been married for 5 years, and they are, I can't say they're my favorite couple because that would be wrong of me, but they are my favorite couple because they're my 2 best friends. So let's give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Broderick Huckabee. Woo! And when they get on with their
there they are.
Here they are. There go Broderick and Rachel. Well, let me put them in the stream real quick. Hold on. Let me put them in the stream. There they are.
We in business.
There, we're in business. They're a little frozen, but that's gonna be all right. Okay. Now, and there go Bailey. Hi, Bailey. How you doing? And then for our hello. And then, of course, I've got to introduce my king of my castle. The one, my big headache, but I love it so much. Put your big head in the screen, baby. None other, my co-host today, Mr. Evan Scott. So it's Mr. and Mrs. Evan Scott. I love you, baby.
Love you too.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I done got you on the scene.
Yeah, I know. I'm on the scene. I'm usually behind. I'm in the scene now.
Yes. How are you guys doing?
I'm just in the house. Just in the new.
How y'all guys doing?
We're good. How are y'all?
Oh, we making it. We making it and making it work, during this, quarantine, this COVID-19. My question to you guys is, how have you been making it as a married couple in 2020, 2021 during this COVID-19?
Good question.
I think for me is he's introvert and I'm not. So being able to have friends that I can hang out with when I need to get away, or just taking that time for myself, whether it's watching a series on TV or whether it's hanging out with some friends or going out to eat, because I'm a foodie, so I can go eat anywhere, COVID or not. I'm gonna put on a mask and go eat. But that works for me, is hanging around people that I love, and then even with him, I think we've dated more. We've tried new places more.
Yeah.
We've been creative. We painted in the park. We've taken the kids random places, and we just make do with what it is. We've been outside a lot more when the weather permits. But I think for me, it's because I need to get out and go see things, and so it's just been finding things to do and hanging with friends and people that I love.
Definitely. Before we go to Brianna and Alfred, if you want to follow along with us, let us know that you're here. Just say hi, pop in. Please come and go into the chat and chit chat with us. We do not mind talking to you guys. Interact with us. How has your COVID-19 been for you? Whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or even if you're engaged, tell us how your COVID-19 has been as well. Now, what about you, Alfred and Brianna?
You want to go?
Yeah. It's actually been better. I think that we had time to actually spend quality time with one another. I think being newly married, I think adjusting our lifestyles to having to come home to someone and things like that, it gave us the opportunity to like really get to like know each other and like our home environment, and not being able to like run away and be like, I got to go to work till 9, you know.
Right.
So we actually had to, you know,
Like each other.
mm-hmm.
And we do. So that
I think we are.
that's been a pleasant thing, I think, that we've discovered during quarantine. I mean, we, like most newlyweds that got married in 2019, we spent our first year, 8 months of it was locked down with each other. So it really got us to our foundation, which is we like to have fun. We were friends first. And so we really got to get back to that in this quarantine time.
For sure.
Definitely. I want to shout out to our boy Floyd, as my husband would say. Hello, Floyd. Thank you for participating. Hello, Brittany Taylor. Brittany Taylor said, hello, paint in the park is dope. It's a dope idea. So go ahead out there and try that, because that is really good, dope idea. I seen you guys do that, and that was pretty cool. I love how Antera is very creative when it comes to stuff. Like, she's very creative, and that's her strength. Laquita said, hey, y'all, for us, as far as us and COVID-19, of course, Evan knows I'm a goer. I'm just like Antera. I love to go. I love to see people. Like, that's what I do. I'm an ambivert. I like to be an introvert and an extrovert at the same time. So I don't mind interacting with people. And it was hard for me to sit my butt down. Like, I don't know how to sit my butt down. Evan be chilling. You know, Evan loves his essentials is food and football. Okay. So if he got food and football, it's okay. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my two.
Two essential things: food and football. Okay. And so I know one thing I did challenge Evan one day, and I know Antera helped him out. Thank you so much, Antera. I appreciate what you did. I had challenged him. I said, Evan, because you got to my husband, you have to sometimes push him into doing things, and that's okay. That's just where he's at first. I used to get frustrated, like, you don't know how to surprise me and stuff, but that's just Evan. And so I challenged him one day to do a date day inside. And he's a coach. He's a PE teacher, okay? And so, of course, we did some activities pertaining to athletics. And matter of fact, we did stations. And it was so dope because when we were doing those stations, we weren't worried about time. We weren't worried about, you know, what we had to do afterwards. It actually took a whole 3 to 5 hours for us to get to the whole station. And we just, you know, was feeling it and loving on each other. And it was cool. So we had to learn how to be stuck together and confined in one spot and know each other within that one spot.
And also really it was a good thing for me because it got me in an uncomfortable situation because she's telling me doing this. I'm not used to nobody telling me to do this because she wants to try new things. And so to me, I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? So luckily, like I said, I had my sis Antera help me. You know, I say, Antera, help. Created one of the bunch. I said, hey man, what can I do? She gave me some things, and I really appreciate her for that. And it just got me out of my box. It got me out of my shell, you know, to really be okay. This is what she wants to be creative. So I had to dip into the creative side, also with Antera's creative stuff. And also I was like, well, I'm a PE coach, so let's do stations, things that she would love to do, you know, and things that we can do together. And it was I mean, and it was a good thing because I put forth a lot of effort into it. And, you know, when you really love somebody, you really want, you know, to make it work, you got to put in the effort. And
I'm so proud of you, brother. I'm so
You know,
proud of you, brother.
I
Look at
appreciate
you.
it.
You're growing up.
He is growing up. I'm so proud of him. I would like to thank my crew for helping him get out of his shell, because if Evan couldn't get out of his shell, I don't know. I probably would choke him. I probably would have choked him. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me go back to the.
I think that's an exciting thing about marriage is that, like, you're usually not married to someone who's just like you. And so it takes us working together to get each other outside of the box. I think Antoine has been on more adventures than he probably ever would have thought of, or tried more food from being with me, because I like to try new things and I'm very adventurous. And so I think it takes us working together and getting each other outside of our comfort zone to try new things. And it makes it more exciting because you get to try those new things together.
And also, and I like to piggyback off that. And also, you know, me, I like to stay at home a lot. This one doesn't.
Mm-mm.
And so, but to me, I've gone to so many places in my 5 years. We've known each other 4 years. Like, Evan, we going this way, we going this way. And my mom used to say, you going out, you going again? I'm like, yeah, we on the go. And to me, I appreciate that because she's not somebody at home. So when she says, Evan, let's go to so-and-so, Lord. But I know she's getting me out there. So, you know, and it was great for me because I can get out and see things and go out instead of sitting myself at home all the time. So that's why we really vibe off each other, because she likes to go and she pushes me to go places, in which I didn't like it at first, but now, you know, I'll do it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I was just gonna say, I think it's important as couples though to do what the other one want to do, because, you know, I'm like you. I can sit at the house, watch a game, Netflix, and chill out by myself. But man, going out with other couples, going out with just ourselves, trying new food. I grew up in a household where we ate spaghetti, fried chicken, fried pork chops, tacos, and pizza.
And chicken strips.
I ate some chicken tenders. You can't go wrong with the chicken tenders. You know what I mean? And now I'm married to somebody that wants sushi, crab legs, and all of this type of stuff. But I've learned how to enjoy the better things in life because I got somebody that pushed me to be better. And so I think it's important to be willing to try new stuff.
Y'all, he tried to make a picnic for me one year in front of his parents' their front yard, in like a blanket. And I came on my lunch break just to visit. And he put some little chicken strips in the microwave and did some ramen noodles. And that was our picnic.
He tried. On Tara.
Look, it's the thought that matters.
I was excited because it was the thought that mattered. But, you know, my expectations was a little higher than the chicken strips and the ramen. But
I got a question for the audience. If your spouse were to give you ramen noodles and chicken for a picnic, would you take it? Go ahead and be honest with us. Be real.
Take the chicken noodles.
I took it. It was the thought that counted. I did. I took it. I ate it like it was the best ramen and chicken strips in the world.
Right. Brittany Taylor said this is a dope idea tool. Okay, so call Aunt Tara Nickerson when I want to have a date night. Gotcha. Melissa Coleman, thank you for tuning in. Who else do we have? Oh, Jesus Ledesma. You know who Jesus Ledesma is, right? It's one of our former students. Hello, Jesus. Yes, it is Coach Scott. He just got a little gray on him now. He got a little wisdom. I don't know if I'm making him go crazy, or I don't know what it is yet. Broderick and Rachel, just let me know when you're ready, okay? Are y'all ready? Yeah, we can hear you. Are you ready? Yes, I can see you. And that's okay. I just wanted to make sure that y'all were good before we went to the next segment. Are y'all ready for me to bring you? Oh, they left again.
Oh.
Okay. Well, while we're at it, we also have Miss Tamika Walker. She said yes, because it is safe to eat. He can't cook.
That part, it's very
There we
safe.
go.
I don't have to worry about catching salmonella or nothing because it was already pre-cooked. We just need to
You're
do
not lying. Miss Queenie said her husband is introvert. However, throughout our marriage, he has sacrificed doing things outside of the norm, being at home and hung out with others as well. Date nights. Those date nights are very, very essential. They're very essential because if you stop dating your spouse, that's when you start, for me, in my opinion, you become a little bit more miserable because you're not spicing things up in your marriage. Are you ready to go? Which
Go.
one?
this.
Rachel or manager? Which one? Which one you want me to put it on? Rachel or Huck the manager? Okay, well, there we go. I just now put you guys in the group. There we go. Found you. Hello.
Hello there.
Okay, so we just talked about the Huckabees are in the building now. So we just talked about how have you guys survived COVID-19 with each other?
A lot of conversations, a lot of just giving each other space as much as possible when you're stuck in a house. But just giving each other space and just letting each other know, like, hey, I need some time by myself. What about you?
Everybody got their head.
Yeah, that's real.
That part.
Lot of space.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what happened.
You know what? I just want to let y'all know in advance, if nobody know Broderick, okay? Be prepared. He's gonna be short and to the point, okay? And you go crack little side jokes on the side. You may get it, you may not get it. If you don't know him, I just wanted to let you know in advance, okay? Okay, so y'all ready?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, I appreciate you guys taking the time out because you didn't have to take the time out to do this. So I want to thank you guys in advance as well. So we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game called Guilty, Not Guilty, or I Plead the Fifth, okay? So my couples have their nice little written down cards because, you know, my handwriting is trash. And so I'm going to ask them a question, and they can either say they're guilty, which means that's them, or they're not guilty, which means that's not them, or they plead the fifth and they don't really want to admit to it, okay? So are you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay, and so you're going to have your questions like this, and then I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to get your answer, okay? Here we go. Who has better taste in music? 5, 4. I'm trying not to look at his card. 3, 2, 1. You do not have better taste in music.
Hey man, I have every taste.
No, you don't. The lies.
I got every taste.
The lies. No.
I got every taste.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Evan will go all over the place, and he don't have a consistent song playlist. He don't know how to do that, and that just really irks me. I be like, man, could you just get a consistent playlist?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. No, the thing is, gospel, and if I was like, man, I want some R&B, then I listen to some R&B, or then it's just, just what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? I'm like,
It's whatever the mood is that day.
If I want to get it crunk,
I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with that.
It's ADD music. Okay, let me stop because I am a little ADD.
I'm just more versed in my music, so I think mine is better because we can go on a road trip and we can go from gospel to country to R&B, or are we gonna Nuck If You Buck, or are we gonna do Southside Thrill? It's like it just really depends on the mood. I guess what part of the town I'm on that we're traveling in, because it just depends on what we want to listen to. But
Right.
Okay. What about you, Brianna and Alfred? I saw that.
I said not guilty just because I didn't want him to shame me, but I really do listen to. I'm pretty much like Evan, and I listen to a wide variety of music. And sometimes he just be looking at me, so I say, you know what? I'm not gonna even shame myself. I'm gonna just be not guilty and let him have it. But
let him have it shine.
Yeah,
Okay,
I feel like we use the car as like our critique of like whatever new album is out. Well, if we're going somewhere long, that's one of the things that we do enjoy with one another. So, like the Jasmine Sullivan, I'm a Jasmine Sullivan fan, hands down. Like plug, but so you know that's something we'll do. We'll be like, oh, you like that, you know, and we'll like listen to like whoever new album. But Brianna is no, her music no.
No, that's just like that. Like turned out. Roderick and Rachel. Now y'all both had guilty like us. What's going on?
Well, pretty much the same thing. We go on road trips. We just kind of just switch it up. I know what Rachel likes, so I put a playlist for her. I know what I like. Put a playlist for me. Now we got a little one, so we throw in her music in there. But I mean, the reason why I'm both guilty is because she's made me listen to music I never even gave a chance. And, you know, because, you know, she's from Kansas, I'm from Texas, there's some Texas music she didn't know. So I'm giving her that. Like, I made her a J. Cole and Big Crit fan. So
that's what's up.
Yes, right.
I love it. I love how
she also made me a Janelle Monáe and Chrisette Michelle fan. So kind of goes both ways.
Can you hear y'all? Blame it on me. Blame it on oh, that hit. Okay, number 2. Who has the best jokes? Who has the best jokes? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh wait, wrong one. Oh no. I'm looking at yours, thinking it's mine.
You is not
okay,
funny.
okay.
I'm definitely not funny.
You remember
between?
Not
funny.
You're not funny.
You're not funny.
You're not funny.
You're not funny.
She's so not funny.
I'm gonna fifth on that one because I really don't know. I just, you know,
y'all know
I know I'm
not funny. Go post it in the chat.
Funny and Courtney's cute.
She's not funny.
It's funny.
That Courtney is cute.
Like, oh, that was cute. Like, it was funny, and he'd be like, no.
Antero will be telling me a joke or showing me something that she's seen on social media, and I'd be like, you know, sometimes I give the fake husband laugh, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'd be like, really? She's not funny. I love her though, but she ain't funny.
You're not funny.
I love her, but she ain't funny.
You know.
Okay, what about you, Brianna and Albert?
Somebody posted in the comment section. It says Floyd Pearson. He said she's not.
She's not funny. So you're outvoted, ma'am. You're not funny. What we agree? Devonique, who was on here last week, she said I agree. My jokes are corny, but he be laughing though. Hey,
See, but you was so corny, you laugh.
Okay, Brianna and Alfred, what about you? I saw the guilty.
I'm the funny one.
I feel like because she's more forceful in the joking, like she's gonna try to tell jokes or like show things that she feels like is so funny, but sometimes she messes it up because she'll be laughing so hard before showing it or saying it. But I'll give it to her. I guess she's funny.
The only thing he doesn't like is my taste, I guess, in comedy shows. I love The Office, and he does not think that is funny. And I just think that is so comical. He does not think so. But the rest of it, I'm the funny one.
Okay, Broderick and Rachel.
I didn't know who.
Let me tell y'all something. Rachel, I ain't gonna lie.
Hey,
Broderick funny.
My boy funny than us.
I'm
Most definitely,
Yeah.
Roderick.
Most definitely right.
Oh, fine,
But
fine.
Thing is, Buddy's so sarcastic with it though.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
that makes it so, I'm like, dude.
Now, I can't speak for you guys because I don't want to. Huh?
Hey, I married her for a reason. She makes me laugh all the time. So
Okay.
Oh,
Giving her
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
okay. But y'all do
That's
when
true,
I
though.
see you guys, y'all do be having them little side laughs, like them inner jokes. It be funny. I'll be looking at y'all, I'll be like, okay, I see what y'all doing. Yeah. For me, I don't think I'm funny. I think I'm petty.
yeah,
How about that? I think I'm petty sometimes. That's what I think I am.
Like dry humor.
sometimes.
You're professional.
Yeah, or jokes that are not supposed to be funny to others, like that. Yeah, because if you would hear my family members, y'all be like, "I can't believe you said that to your dad or whatnot," and y'all be like, "Oh my gosh, they're crazy." But we're our humor is horrible. Okay. Question number 3. Who's more forgetful? Who's more forgetful? 3, 2, 1. Why does Rachel got guilty? Okay. Yeah, I'm not guilty.
Man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead and put it out there.
I have to, yeah.
Wait, I'm surprised Aunt Tara didn't do this, huh? Look, him.
He did it too fast. I didn't even bring up my paper.
It's just
It wasn't
sometimes
a
you got
debate.
so much going on
it's
that
not a
you
debate.
just you
Hey,
forget.
look here. I be having to use my phone sometime. Reminder. Do this. You told your wife you gonna do this. Hey, I be mean and well though.
Yeah.
Good intentions.
Hey, I forget, boy. It'd be sometimes I be forgetting. I'm like, Evan, you did. Oh.
Go
And she
in.
be trying not to get upset, but I'm like, man, I plumb forgot, babe. I'm so sorry. Like I could just be, she tell me something, and then I sit there, Evan, did you forget? Oh, forgot about that.
I'll give you a prime example, okay? Took my Christmas tree down. I said, hey, can you put the Christmas tree decorations up for me? Yeah, baby, I'll do that. Guess how many days the box and all the Christmas trees, the Christmas items that were supposed to go on the Christmas tree, how long was they on the floor?
It's okay because Antoine would remember when I started doing it myself.
3 weeks.
Oh. They was 3 weeks.
It was 3 weeks.
God, man.
Not again.
Yeah. But, I forgive you. Hey brother, he said that she's just weird. I'm not weird. You're a hater. Okay. Anyway, I love you, brother. The next question. I got 2 more. Who snores the loudest?
Really?
3, 2,
Really?
1.
Really?
Go ahead, put it all up in there.
Really?
Put it all in there.
Really?
Put it all in there. Roger said, I plead the fifth because you don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
No, he snores. He just doesn't realize he snores. He's like, "Oh, you gave it to me. You can't give somebody
I didn't
snores."
snore.
That's facts. I didn't snore until I got married.
Hey, man. You know what?
No.
You know what?
You have no
Roderick, you're on to something.
You
are
I
on.
know.
No. This man is on to something.
Yes. Budget.
There's
I did
a
not know.
list I can go through.
I did not know I could snore. Nobody
Honestly,
told me.
I got a whole list of things.
Yeah, he's snoring.
Hey, man.
I rush and beat him to bed because otherwise I ain't gonna get no.
He's about, I'm about to go to bed.
No.
Go watch TV. Go watch.
Just go sleep with Riley at this point because of many times I push you, kick you, and you don't. I'm just gonna go sleep with Riley. At this
I be
point.
trying, fellas. If y'all can help a brother out, I try to turn on my side.
Hey, I
try to sit
I'm the same way. I try to turn on my side and everything, but then I just don't like when I'm in that good sleep and she wake me up. Oh,
I be like,
Your boys
I
talking
want
about
your stomach.
like, oh man, I was having
Well, I got a question.
Mine's bad.
Have
I
y'all?
wake myself up. I snore so loud. I wake myself up sometimes. I'd be like, oh,
My brother.
What
My
do
brother.
you mean?
Hey, and then you ask your wife, you be like, was I snoring?
Yes, you
By
was.
the way,
I was in denial a long time. I was like, I do not snore. I don't know who told you that.
I was the same way. I was the same way.
No, what I did was I recorded him.
Yeah,
I
That's
said,
what she did.
I said,
too.
yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm like that because nobody's ever told me that. Nobody told me I snore. I was like, oh man, I didn't know
But
I
it
did.
happened
Antoine
before,
understands
Evan.
my life now. You understand it, right?
It happened before, Evan.
His look,
It
Evan, your
happened
boys was
when
against
y'all
you
got
because they
together.
talked about your snoring too.
Yeah.
I'm
The boys is against you. I'm sorry. But
Hey,
Antoine, have a
but-
question?
No, I was just, and I forgot. I was gonna say something else, but to Alfred's point, like you can't be in denial because I can remember we done had a argument in the middle of the night because she hit me, telling me stop snoring. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I ain't snoring. And then she got that video evidence, and that just hurt my feelings. I ain't gonna lie.
Likewise.
So Rachel, the only one that's the woman and
I already know it's traveled through college.
We
staying
know.
at your dorm, and you were like, Rachel, there was a barrier, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, so yeah, so I get it. I was the one that had to go to sleep last. However, I get sleepy, so they just had to deal with it.
let's see. Queenie said, Lord, don't be blasting my little Brody. I'm sorry. Delvanique says, so basically, y'all just put all y'all Christmas decorations up in a Black History on Black History Month. And then Floyd says, sometimes the wife snores. Okay, you'll get yourself in trouble, Floyd. Be quiet.
Tell it, brother.
That you be telling y'all business. Okay, I got two more. Who is more romantic? We already got that 3, 2, 1.
It's really bold.
Brianna.
It's really
I'm gonna let Brianna and Alfred go first.
okay, y'all. Alfred is more outwardly romantic. Like he's going to do maybe that means romantic. But I'm
It's
more
okay.
like
She's not an educator. She's
I'm
in the health
more-
profession. She
I'm more
understand the
so like
vocabulary.
I'm gonna put the thought into like if I'm gonna give you something, like it may not be much, but it's gonna be thoughtful. Like I think that's romantic, but no, he's gonna do all the setups and drip it down. I mean, I'm gonna give him the guilty. I'm gonna give him that, but I think I do okay too.
Okay.
Made me like that.
She's more thoughtful. I think I would give you
Thank
that
you.
thoughtful,
Thank you.
but not more romantic.
Okay, he's more romantic.
Broderick and Rachel.
I would say the same. Because when we first got together, we were long distance for a year. And so Broderick had to put in, the effort. And so every time that we would get together, he'd have like these full day dates, like everything's planned out, everything like that. But I would agree with Bree and say that when I'm doing the gifts, like I'm more thoughtful and like I really put some more thought into it. Whereas with Broderick's gifts, which are beautiful, which are wonderful, sometimes it's just like, hey, I saw this, it's nice here. And it's like, oh, okay, thank you. But like this my gifts would be more like, you said, 2 years ago, you said 2 years ago that, you really like this artist, you want to try this. So we'd go, to a museum or something. So we're kind of on the same page with Bria and Alfred, where it's like, he's more outward, I'm more inward.
Okay. Antoine and Antera. That's all I have to say. Mic drop. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing?
I mean, I could. I mean, I
First of all, I'm talking right now because she's just so creative. Hey, my wife is so creative. I just can't get on her level. She's just so creative. I mean, when I say she already done planned out the date night for 5 months from now. That's how crazy.
Yeah, she's a
You know
planner.
what I mean? I'm talking about when we go out of town. This woman, like, I can remember, like, when I went out of town, I did a boys' trip a few years ago, and I remember calling her complaining because I was like, bro, man, we just wake up and then they trying to figure out what we gonna do every day. Whereas when I go out of town with my wife, she got a whole to-do list. Like, we gonna wake up, we going to, she know what restaurants we going to and everything. But I say she own it, she just own it. So I can't be on it like her. God didn't create me like that.
Man, I love going on trips with your wife. Like when I say you don't have to worry about nothing, all we gotta do is pay for it. That's it. That's it.
So just imagine a date night with her.
Yeah, it's already done. Like we're doing it.
We have girl nights, she knows.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I mean, he's just so last minute. I mean, he's forgetful. We know he's last minute, or he's forgetful. Like, I mean, he goes and gets Christmas items on Christmas Eve and then has to wrap them all. Like, and I'm like, oh well, y'all stuff was already wrapped by Black Friday. Like, I'm done. Like, it's done. I'm trying to stop buying more stuff, but at this point, it's done. But I guess I'm just a planner.
She's a planner.
Yeah, I would say for us, okay, if we say romantic, Evan is a touchy-feely, lovey-dovey person. I'm working on that myself. Like I'm learning to let him embrace me and let him love on me, because I just that romantic stuff. Like, hey, okay, I'm gonna hug you. Okay, get off me now. We done. So I'm learning to be romantic as far as affectionate wise, but when it comes to romantic as in, doing things, that would be me. He will make us go to the same restaurant every time if I let him. So no.
Good food is good food.
We're not doing that.
Hey, once you hit that goal, that good
food.
spot,
Like,
hey, why try something else?
I know.
No, we're not doing that.
Availability. We're gonna try something different.
Like, we go out of town and I'll be like, oh man, they got, it can be, I'm just gonna cut steak and ale. We don't eat that, but I'm just saying, no. We're at the beach. We gotta eat seafood.
Like, we have that at home. Like, let's try something different.
Yeah, so creative.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to though. Like,
why can't I just have fried chicken? I want fried chicken.
You can get fried chicken
You
anywhere.
can't have fried chicken every day, Twan. You can't go
fried chicken at home.
every
You
day.
have fried chicken by
And I'm like, okay, let's
Hey,
look on
chicken around the corner.
Groupon. Let's see what's available. Even like when we go out of town, I'm gonna check Groupon first before I book anything else. I'm gonna check Groupon. Just try something. Think outside the box.
Right.
It's okay. They have chicken everywhere you go. No worries. They always have wings. They're either going to be the appetizer or they're going to be a meal. No
And
worries.
he orders it. And I'm like, no.
Then I get in trouble, bro.
I'm like, try this so then I can share my plate. You can share your plate, and like we can both
Hey.
try something different.
Look here.
I
This
like
gonna tell me,
trying new
no,
food.
you're not getting chicken.
Wait, time out, because we're 9 years in there now.
She gonna tell me I ain't getting no chicken, bro.
No.
I can't even order what I want. I'm eating seafood.
We are not.
That's what she gonna tell me. No.
We're 9 years in
Eat
now.
what I
So
tell
maybe
you.
okay, year 1, 2, 3, it was like that.
Yeah.
Now he looks at the menu and he's like, oh, I can get that at home. So let me go ahead and try this red fish.
That's what's up.
Like now
I know better now.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you know better. Thank you. Last question.
Look, I can say, even as a husband, she has trained me. Like and I'm being serious. Like,
Yeah.
Because like I just know, like when I go out to eat with her, I might look at that chicken and be like, man, that chicken look good. But we at the beach, so I already know. Okay, let me go ahead. For example, I used to go to Pappadeaux's. I was gonna get some catfish and French fries. Now I know I got a stuffed crab or something like that. Hey, so but she showed me a different way of life. So I appreciate her for upgrading me. Let me say it like that.
Upgrade. That's nice.
Right. So upgrade.
That's what's up.
Finer things in life.
Mhm.
She upgraded us too. Don't worry.
Finer things in life.
Yes. Last question. Whose car is the cleanest?
Oh.
Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and put myself out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, man.
I can plead the fifth and be guilty at the same time because I have kids that are with me all the time. Now, his car, he
True
just be
story.
throwing B8 cans and water bottles, and then when he gets in my car, I know he gets in my car. But he did tell me if I ever put them eyelashes on my car, he won't drive it again. Guess who ordered some eyelashes for their car? Deliver them, and I'm gonna put them on.
Tara, it looked like they live in her car. I'll be like, where did all these clothes come from?
No, first of all,
Dude.
no.
Evan. Evan Scott.
Hey, man. Hey.
He just throws it in the trunk, so I have no trunk space to ever go.
Hey.
He just throws everything in the trunk.
Hey, one thing I can say, if we were ever stranded, I swear, man, we have all the clothes in the world.
Right. I understand y'all don't have kids, do y'all?
No,
we don't.
Yeah, so
Man.
our cars probably stay a lot cleaner than our cars. We got 3 kids. So, oh Lord. Never mind.
Oh.
Give me a minute. Hold on. Man, what Broderick and Rich, I saw guilty and bold. Dang, guilty and bold.
It changes. So like, after, a hard week or whatever, my car is what it is. And same with Broderick's car. Like, it is what it is after, a hard week or two. And then we'll clean it out and stays good for a couple.
Yeah, I typically clean them every week, every other week.
Yeah.
So I clean
So
out
when you
mine.
clean them, you put the stuff in the
something I
trunk, or
do.
do you take it in the house?
I take everything out the car.
Out the car, right? Okay.
Clean it all out. Yeah.
It's all over the place.
It's a family trait to just keep our cars clean. That's just for my grandpa, my uncles, everybody does that. So
I didn't inherit that part.
I didn't inherit that either, Rachel. Okay, yeah, we
So
so I have no problem doing it. And so sometimes she have to ask me like, well, what did you do with? I was like, I don't know. Might be in the
I'm
trash.
scary too. So like, if it's dark, don't expect me to get nothing out the car because I'm going straight in the house. But
Oh
Right.
yeah. If it's dark, it's gonna stay there till morning.
I'm gonna stay there. I'm not. But now I have boys and they're a little bit older. So I'm like, hey, y'all go get the stuff out of the car. But like, me, I'm going in.
Let me tell you how a junky car saved my life, okay? So London had to go use the restroom really, really bad, and it was bad traffic. She was like, Mom, I gotta go pee. A cup saved her life. A cup saved her life, okay? You got to do what you got to do.
I keep a
Boys,
bottle or
them
two.
little Gatorade B8 cans and Gatorade bottles.
You got to do what you got to do, and pray that it won't spill in your car. Okay.
A heavy prayer.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's the end of the guilty, not guilty. I plead the fifth. Y'all did such an amazing job. I'm so very, very proud of you guys. That was very fun. I had more questions, but we got to go ahead and get into the rest of the segment. Like, this is dope. I love it. For those of you who just tuned in, this is the Love and Marriage segment where we have our couples to come in and give you these golden nuggets to dip them with Chick-fil-A sauce, and they're gonna give you some stuff over here. We have Mr. and Mrs. Alfred Rucker, who's been married for 1 year. We have Mr. and Mrs. Broderick Huckabee, who's been married for 5 years. We have Mr. and Mrs. Antoine Nickerson, who have been married for 9 years, and we have my husband and I, who have been married for 3 going on 4 years next month. So now we're going to get into our real life segment, which is the topic of love. Let's talk about love and marriage. I really feel like it's very important for us to have these conversations, whether you are single, whether you are married, whether you are engaged, or whether you are planning on taking the next step with your boyfriend or girlfriend. So one of the questions that I had for you guys is, how did you know that your spouse was the one God made for you?
Let me go.
You going first, baby?
I'm gonna go first.
Okay, so let me step out real quick.
Well, I went through a tough time. I went through a tough time in my past relationship, And one thing I knew that she was for me was because she helped me kind of in the religion standpoint. Because in that way, I really had I was hopped from church to church. I didn't really know what was going on. And so when she came into my life, she really showed me, okay, you know, this is, I want you to go to this church that we go to. And, you know, I really enjoyed it. I love the church I go to, which is G-Stop. And just the way, I mean, I knew she grew me as a person. She made me a better man. Out of my faults, you know, she didn't condemn me on a lot of things. There was some things I told her that I was embarrassed that previous relationships down on me and took me out and really bashed me. And the same things I said to her, I knew she was wrong because she lifted me up. She didn't tear me down like, you know, previous had, you know, and I that's what I really love, because you want somebody to build you up because you know you have problems. And for somebody to just not do anything about that, you know, it shows volumes. But I knew she was one because she accepted me for me, and I was myself with her, you know, and that's, you gotta be yourself. You gotta be yourself in a marriage. You know, I gotta be Evan. She's asking me going, I can't be somebody else. And with her, I could be myself, and she let me be myself. And that's why certain people turned me down. She built me back up. So that's why I knew she was one, because she challenged me to be better, to be a better person. More than anything, she challenged me to be a better person.
You make me blush over here.
That was dope.
I really, you know,
Hey, you better take care of my brother.
Hey, all right. I'm gonna say I can't take all the credit for that. I really feel like God does stuff in timing, because I was not looking for nobody. And we were looking. Like, we met at school that we worked at. And, you know, I was minding my own self business, and he did slide into my Facebook. He slid into the DMs, and we started talking. Well, at first I was laughing. I was like, man, I ain't gonna give this dork a chance or whatnot, because he is a dork, but now he's my dork, okay? So I got to get to know, I got to know him, and what I noticed about him and my previous relationships is I didn't have to be the giver all the time. I didn't have to pour all the time. And it was like I was pouring into him and he was pouring into me. And it was just a recycling thing. And he is the opposite of me, in which I do need a person who's the opposite of me. Because if I were to fight me, I would have a problem. Also, he's very selfless. I've been around so many selfish people that I used to have my guard up. Like, I remember one time me and him, we were at the house and I started crying or whatnot because, you know, I just had my guard up. And he was like, look, I am not them. We're going to have to break this, because I am not the people who you were messing with. I'm Evan. You cannot bring this basically to our relationship. And I had to get my life together and realize that, you know, he made me have to be self-aware of the hurt that I was going through, not even knowing, because I was just going through the motions. I just had a kid. Matter of fact, London was 10 months when I met him. 10 months when I met him. And I was like, ain't nobody gonna want me. I have a 10-month-old. Nobody ain't gonna mess with me. And Lord and behold, God brung this man and allowed not only him to love me, but to love my child. And that is something that speaks volumes, because when a man loves on a child that's not yours, and takes care of your child like it's yours, that let me know that he was the one for me. So that's where we're at, boo. Stop it, y'all. I hate.
Look, well, dang, who gonna want to follow that? Y'all done preached a sermon of who gonna want to follow that?
Because mine's like, his feet touched me and I didn't freak out. So I was like, oh, okay, this can work because I don't like feet. And so I was like, so
That was the real moment.
that's like that's what it was. But then, like, all jokes aside, which that was part of it. Like, okay, we got some potential because I didn't freak out when your feet touched me. Like, that's real talk.
That's beautiful.
But for me, it wasn't like a God sent you kind of thing. It was, for me, it was kind of like we've been through all this together, so why not? Like, God put us through all of this together for a reason, so like, why not? So it wasn't like God brought him to me. I just felt like he put us through a lot of tests and trials in our relationship that made us to that point, like, why not? Like, we already have each other's back through all of this, so why not carry it on? Plus, his feet didn't freak me out. So
that's beautiful. I'll take that. Like, that's your story, and you need to stick to your story. You're being your authentic self. Y'all, because y'all been together collectively for how long? Collectively.
Off and on, because we had that childish moment in our life, but off and on for 15, 16 years.
Yeah. That's a
Grew up
long time.
That is.
That's half your life.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah.
That boy had braids. He was
I
B2K.
hadn't even thought about it like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was just because we grew up together. And so it was, but as you get older and you start really looking at it like, man, this girl really got my back. Like, then also you look at other couples and you look at what they going through. You look at how this person didn't make it. And then you like, all the stuff we went through and she's still there. Some of the things I did to her, I probably would have not even stayed if she did to me. And I think the main thing for me is that, like, I know if nothing else I know about her, I know she got my back. And like, just to know that for real, she got my back in so many ways. That was like okay, yeah. She wifey.
She wifey material.
She wifey.
You have no choice because I saw you cry. Boy, we thought you was gonna pass out.
Hey, it got real. It got real.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Yeah.
With Brianna, I think that I seen that she liked me and loved me for my authentic self. I think a lot of times in the where we were at in the place, it's easy for people to like your position or like where you're at, and life of the party, fun, out for it, and that's the part that people like of you. And it's different when somebody can like to hold you and they're able to see some of those things that your scars, some of those things that are the ugly part of you, and still say, I'm okay with that, and I think we're always talking about generational curses and things that you do in your past and how that affects you. And I think that she is she's my generational breaker, our generational curses breaker. Like, she's my partner in crime to make sure that when we have children that it'll be different, that we don't speak to one another in certain ways that we've seen, or that we truly authentically like learn to love and communicate and even have healthy arguments. It's something that we want in our relationship. So I think she's my curse breaker, because together we're gonna try to break those curses. So
We're gonna get into that healthy argument in a few minutes. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Did you have something?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take it just a slightly different way, because what I've learned in this first year of marriage is that you have to choose love every single day. So what I have chosen to do was start my day with my devotional and things like that. And I just would randomly start like plans for marriage, like love and marriage. And one thing that I realized was that he makes me want to be a better wife. Like, when you find a partner that you genuinely want to be your best self for, it's like, okay, God, I see where you want to take us, and I know where I need to be for that, and where I need to be his partner, to be his wife. And same for him, how he needs to be my husband. and where God is taking us. So it's just like I can see daily of how like just little things like, oh man, I know he would like this, or I know he would appreciate if when he came home them dishes was washed, or he would appreciate when he came home he took off, you know. So it's little things that maybe when we were dating I would probably nag about that I'm like consciously trying to work on just being a better wife daily, honestly.
Okay. I like it. That was good. I like them. Look, this golden nuggets.
That's real good.
Right. What about you, Broderick and Rachel?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sorry, I was in there.
Yes. How did you know that your spouse was the one God made for you?
Pretty much my first saw her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was my birthday gift.
Happy birthday.
But just a little backstory that kind of, I guess, helped. For those who don't know, Bree is my little god sister. She helped me a lot because I was an on and off relationship with someone, and she kind of like, hey, why are you even with her? And she was 16 telling me this, and I was just like, okay, all right. So just trying to figure out what I want, and she came to my birthday party. The looks checked everything, so I was like, And then the date. Well, the next day we hung out, and then the day after that we went on a date, and I was like, and so with her being from Kansas, it was like, okay, well, if I want to be serious, I need to be serious.
Mm-hmm.
It was right at the time where I wasn't thinking about being serious. And then from there were just so many building blocks that were just like, okay, yep. And so probably 5-6 months into it, I visited her in Kansas. And for those who don't know, I'm type 1 diabetic. So I was there, and when I woke up and everything, she had ESPN on for me already. I was like, oh.
Hey,
Exactly. But she paid attention to things. So she had ESPN on already for me. She knew that when I got the shower, I went up the floor. So she already had like the towel down for me.
Dang, right?
Just small details that are just you don't think about, but I think about small details. Just how I am. And then, like I said, I was saying in the beginning, I'm type 1 diabetic. So my sugar kind of drops in the morning. And she had a special compartment in her purse full of Starburst just for me.
All right.
That was the part.
All right.
Like, okay. Yep.
His life.
Like, you better take care of my brother.
Yes, I did, and I still do have candy in my purse just in case. But one thing that well, okay, so just like everybody kind of said, like when we got together, I was not looking for anyone. I had been in long distance relationships, not long distance, but I had been in long-term relationships, and they were never easy. It was always work. It was always like I had to do this and I had to do this, and I was always giving. And sometimes I would get something in return, but it was never a balance. It was never easy. And so, and you know, I was done wrong on several different occasions. So after a while, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to do me and I'm going to have fun. And then I went to go visit Lauren and met Broderick. I was like, okay, so we're going to whose birthday party? Like, what are we doing? And I was like, okay, fine, but can we get some food too? so we met, and he was cute. I'm not gonna lie, you were cute. And so The next couple of days, he got my number and we went on a date. And that was my very first official date where like the guy comes, he picks you up at the house, he rings the doorbell, comes in, speaks to everybody, and then you go out on the date. That was my very first like official date like that. And so I was like, okay, this is different. This is cool. And because we were long distance, we got to build our friendship because all we had was communication. That's all we could do. So communication was the biggest thing. And I think that's one reason why we've lasted so long and why we have such a deep bond is because we talk about everything. Like he is, sorry, Lauren, he's my best friend. So, you know, like I tell him.
You heard her. I let her have it today.
You know, I tell him things that I'm just like, you know what? I need someone that I can trust, someone that I can just, you know, how does this sound? But to go to your question, the very moment that I knew for sure, this is the man that God had for me is kind of going back to his type 1 diabetes because like I didn't know much, but I knew that later on in life there could be complications. And I remember asking myself, am I okay being a caregiver if the time comes? Am I okay being a nurse? Will I ride it out with him?
Wow.
And the answer was easy. It was like, yes, I'll do anything. Like this is it. And so I was like, okay, well, what's next? And so we've been on this adventure for a minute.
Man, that
Come on, and then Bailey.
and then Bailey. Hey girl, but you know what? We'll talk. You don't think about the health things that may come your way when you are with your spouse. And it's like you are already ahead of the game. We don't know what may or may not happen with our spouses. And I commend you of even thinking about, you know, would I long term be able to be the caregiver of this man if something were to happen with him? That's amazing. I love it. Miss Queenie said, when you know God assigned you to your spouse, the marriage will work. You both are willing and can weather any and all storms. The love is never ending and overshadows the challenges you both face. This leads to more happier days than bad. Child, y'all be laughing in hindsight, and 30 minutes later, you understand each other because you two are one. Girl, you ain't lying about that. You know, we're gonna get into that, but Broderick, go ahead and tell them about the ringing of the doorbell. How did you? Hey, you got to tell the story of why you rung that doorbell. Tell them.
Oh, yeah, because I see somebody here that's already messaging. Hello, Mama Kelly.
Yes, Andrea Kelly. She said, hey, baby.
Yeah.
Story.
So, senior year, you know, I got my car, got my
Caprice Classic.
My Caprice Classic. So I could fit quite a few people in Highland Hills in there.
Yep.
So I make my rounds, and yeah, Lauren was the first person I would pick up because me and Lauren has a long relationship. Been my sister since 7th grade.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, so she was like the homie. So bump.
Shouldn't have bumped on.
Never done that at Miss Kelly's house. So Lauren didn't come out first. Mama Kelly came out. And she told me some things. we end up being late for school that day.
Yep.
So yeah, she advised me to come get out of my car, ring the doorbell, open Lauren's door, and I'm thinking in my head like, I don't even like Lauren. Like, why?
You're just my brother.
But I get it, and so that's how the doorbell opening doors happen from there on out.
Yes. Kia, who is my cousin, said, "Love me some Andrea Jackson Kelly." Shout out to my mom, who she will check you real quick in a minute. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure she checked Evan too. She checked Evan too. Okay, this is the last question, and we're gonna end this segment, because I want to make sure that y'all have time with each other. I don't want to take up all your time. Like, not doing that, go do what you do. Okay. When having a disagreement, what strategies worked for your marriage? Because my thing is, not every strategy works with everybody's marriage. Like, you have your own strategy, but maybe you can give some feedback to other people who may want to utilize the tools that you have for your marriage.
Okay.
We can go first. So people don't believe that we don't argue, and there's a lot of things that we have that are alike, and when there's a disagreement, we're alike. So the first thing is we learned this before we met each other, that silence hurt more than words. So yeah, we're not gonna go back and forth and yell and cuss, because like I said, we've been in situations before each other where we know silence is gonna hurt a person more than me cussing you out. So if we have an issue, it's silence for a while, but at the same time, we're not dwelling on the problem. We're both trying to figure out a solution.
Yeah, trying to figure out like the best way to convey like what we're feeling and how we felt about the situation. But also like we get mad the exact same way. So we will just like go to the extreme and be like, you know what, forget it. I ain't doing this no more, when it wasn't even that serious. So that silence kind of gives us time to, for sure, calm down, but then also figure out what exactly we're trying to say to the next person before we say something that we can't take back.
Yeah, because normally if you kind of think about your disagreement or whatever it is, it's either miscommunication or something that was said or done made you feel a certain way. So, if it makes you feel a certain way, we just know to chill out first and then come up with a solution, and then we're done after that. And that's just how I've always been. And so it's just kind of funny that I have a person right next to me that lives with me. It's the same exact way. But yeah, so that's typically the approach that happens. Like I said, people think it's crazy that we don't argue, but we're trying to find a solution. We're not trying to dwell on the problem.
Wow, it's beautiful. Y'all better put that in y'all's notes. We're not dwelling on the problem. We're trying to get a solution going on. That was good. Freshies, what you got for us, Freshies?
Brianna is the turn up queen.
I am turn up queen, y'all. We don't have to take it. We have to take it to the Lord. I'm all jokes aside. Because you have to, marriage really does put a mirror in front of you to like everything about yourself you didn't know. I did not realize that I had such a temper because I don't argue with anybody else. If I have an issue with what you said, I'm going to say what I want to say, and then we never have to see each other again type of situation. But living with the person who you're having the disagreement with, I'm still learning, because I'm going to say that. I'm still learning that you have to adjust the way that you communicate your issues, because you can lose your sense of like what you were even trying to convey in the way that you brought it out. And my thing is, I'm a turn up, I'm gonna get loud, I'm a curse, forgive me, Lord, mama, anybody who's watching. I'm gonna do all of that, and I'm gonna act a fool. And one thing that always sticks with me is afterwards, I'm like, dang, why I do that? Like, why I even need to do that? And now he mad because I done turned up, and I can't even be mad because he mad. Like I didn't have to keep him that way. And so we've literally had to just take it to a Bible plan. And we did a little 7-day Tamla and David Mann talking about communication. And literally, we had to set ground rules. Like, we will not argue in our bed. We will not cuss.
We're not trying to cuss. For me,
we're gonna
try to cuss.
Yes, we're good. We're not going. Well, he doesn't have that issue, but he has more so of a snarky comeback type of thing that just clicks. It turns me up even more. So I think that's part of just how Broderick and Rachel's relationship reflects their personalities. We're both like on 10 all the time. And so it comes out in our relationship. So I think, again, it goes back to how I knew he was for me. It makes me want to be a better person and want to be a better wife. So I am working on that. And we have set ground rules in our marriage, things that we will not do anymore during the argument or disagreement, because it doesn't end up anywhere. We just end up mad for no reason. So.
Right. Veterans, you know you're going last because I know y'all got something. I know y'all do. You want to go first, baby?
We had a thing about with me of talking it out. I was the one where, when we would get it, because we rarely ever argue. And honestly, we really don't. But when we do, it goes down. It goes down. And the thing about it is, people don't see that in us, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm more chill. She's
the loud one.
Loud one. 25, and I'm on 5. But I had to realize communication is the key. Because it's been some times where I wouldn't, and I had to learn about this, when we had an argument, she would bring it up first. And to me, and I would just not bring it up anymore. I would let her bring it up because, it was just in me. I just never really brought it up first. So it would take not a long time, but she was tired of when we had an argument. Well, you never bring it up first. You never talk about it first, because I'm just the type, I can't go to sleep mad. I can't go to sleep and think I cannot go to sleep mad at her.
We've learned that
because it's been times when we've been mad at each other and I'm tossing and turning, not getting any sleep, because it's just, and always that saying goes, you don't want to go to bed mad at each other. Mm-hmm. And I think what I've learned about is I have to step up and just say, okay, let's talk about this. I'll take the initiative. I'm still learning. I've gotten better, but I don't let her take the initiative all the time if something's going on. It comes time where, I'll say, okay, we can talk about it now. I mean, we do go our separate ways when we're mad, to collect our thoughts, because what you don't want to do is yelling and then all of a sudden you say something. Like she says, she can cut with the jugular when she's upset. And she always told me, I'd rather just go in my room, and really collect my thoughts, read, what she does, clear her thoughts, I clear mine. So when we come back together, when we're ready, we can establish that, okay, we're calmer now. This is what we can do. Because I don't see the point of us yelling back and forth. That doesn't solve anything. Because you're still yelling, you're not getting anything done. But if you're going back, really regressing and really just thinking about it and doing your own thing, and then come back together, and really talk about it. Because that's what I had to learn. I had to learn to initiate it first. And so I just think sometimes you got to get that spread out if you're upset, disagreements, but you also got to come back together, and don't wait to come back together 2-3 days, because that's a big problem, because something might happen, and heaven forbid if something happened, then you're going to be stuck with that. Man, I was mad at her, and she was mad at me. And so don't take too long to be mad, have a chance to gather together. And that's what I had to learn.
Yeah, I'm not used to Evan being too serious. And I know y'all not either. So this is beautiful. Like, from him, I'm very, very proud of you. I just want to let you know that I'm very, very proud of you. I remember one time, though, I did it on purpose. I had to apologize to him. So one time, I was like, you know what? I'm sick of this. He ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna go to my mama's house. I'm tired of this. I didn't tell him where I was going. I just went.
Strike one.
Yeah, I just went. Didn't call him all day. I was like, you know where I'm at? I'm at my mama house. Everybody who knows me knows I go to my mama house, to church and my mama house. Those are two places I go to, or to Walmart. So I finally got in the house. Still didn't say nothing. Went in the bedroom, did what I did. Was reading. No, I was watching TV. When I say I've never heard Evan Scott go in like in. I got scared, but I had to hold my ground and act like I wasn't scared because I'm a G like that. But I said, "Oh, he's really mad." Like it was almost to where he almost wanted to hit a wall. Like I can see that it's coming. My spidey sense is sensing that he wants to go hard in the paint. And I was like, "Okay, I'm letting him calm down, and I'm calming my heartbeat down too, because my pressure up. Because I'm scared what you gonna do at this particular moment." But once we communicated. And I had to suck it up, and I had to apologize because I was wrong for that. We've gotten to a better place now. So I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of us. All right, T Mix, what you got for us?
Boom, sis.
Okay. First thing I want to point out is, in a relationship, or just a person and human in general, every 5 years you change. Your hormones change, your emotions change. So in a marriage, you're always going to have to reevaluate your whole communication platform. So going back, we've been together off and on for 15 years. That first 5 years, I was the submissive queen. Whatever Antoine said do, I did. Whatever he wanted me to do, I did. I didn't talk back. It was what it was. Because
those were the glory days.
Oh no, it's
but we were dating, and I was trying to get what I wanted. I got what I wanted, but then I grew up.
Yeah.
And when
you grew up at, like, even the first few years of marriage, like you was.
Well, I was a turn-up queen then. I haven't got there yet. I was on her level. I was
trying to get to the stage.
I was the fighter. I threw things and I cussed, and I was the turn up queen. And it was what it was, and I said what I had to say, and I'd pop off, and it was nuck if you buck all up and through the house. That was me. And people look at me, and when we tell them that, they're like, "No," like, "Yeah, that was me." And I wanted him to hurt like I hurt, and I wanted him to feel what I felt, and that's what it was. And I mean, with how I grew up, that's what I was seeing. So, and then I grew up from that, and then now we're in a season where we're trying to learn how to effectively communicate without hurting each other, but expressing how we feel. One thing Antoine always tells me is everything I feel is reality, which I absolutely hate when he tells me that. That's like that sarcastic, smart little comment thing. But when I sit down, then I realize, I mean, it is true. I think our assumptions is what kills a lot of the communication, because we assume that the person meant X, Y, Z. In reality, they really meant A, B, and C. I think that as you continue to grow, you realize those things. But I think for us, because now I'm in the season of I'm 30, all my hormones and all that, it's just whatever. I'm emotional. And so it's all about my feelings to her. So I have to, before I can be open-minded to what it is that he has to say to me, I have to be out of my emotions. I have to be out of my feelings, out of my emotions. So I need that time to really just calm down, because if I react off of emotions, my reaction and my comebacks are going to be emotional.
It's beautiful. I love it. What you got?
Hey,
go ahead, Pastor. Lay it out.
Hey, I mean, she really said it all. Like, for us, because we've been together so long, it's been seasons. You know, there's been like I said, when she used to be very, and don't get me wrong, she submitted areas, but like she used to be a woman where how I said and what I said, it went that way until she grew up. And so like now it's to a place to where, like she said, I communicate. I was like, all right, can we have this conversation without our feelings getting involved in it? Because sometimes you got to tell me some stuff that I don't want to hear about myself, and I can get in my feelings. Then I'm telling you some stuff you don't want to hear about yourself, and you can get in your feelings, and then understand that if I'm telling you something that I want to see you do better, it's really to benefit the marriage. Because don't nobody want to be married and unhappy. You know what I mean? Or feel like you can't say certain things. And so, you know what I mean? And so it's for both of us. We still learning. And like she said, because also our emotions is changing, because You know, we've been together so long to where we've been together so long. There was times where I was going to the strip club. There was time we was going to the strip club together. You know, now we in a season of our life where I'm not going to the strip club. You know, like so it's kind of like now learning us. We constantly learn each other because we constantly change it. And so, you know, one of the rules we made is that, hey, we got to give each other time. Like if you upset, especially if she upset, because if she upset, she'll say something. I mean, she'll hurt her brother feelings. Hey, it's just understanding that.
My girl.
Right. So it's understanding that, hey, man, when we upset, let's just take some time. So that way I don't say nothing and you don't say nothing. That even if I apologize, it don't fix it. Because, you know, I always say words hurt, words offend, and words last forever. You know what I'm saying? It's some things I said 5 years ago. You know what I mean? And if it was hurtful, it can stick to her. So I think that's the main thing is giving time, like y'all said, but not too much time. Because you're going to have tough days, and especially when you married to somebody that's a turn-up person. But then like me, I'm a think it through person, but then I have to be careful. I don't take too long to think it through.
Because then he'll forget to come back and talk about it.
And those are facts. And see, one of the rules that we made in our relationship, hey, and look, and here's another thing for my brothers and my sisters that forget a lot. We made a rule to where we only deal with one issue at a time. Because, you know, sometimes you got 100 issues where really it's this major issue that's at the foundation of all these other issues. And so we got a rule to where we dealing with one issue at a time. Hey, if we talking about, I mean, whatever that issue is, we dealing with that one issue. Once that issue is fixed, we can move on to the next issue. Because when you start focusing on all the issues, because y'all know how we do when we get to debating or whatever, you know what I mean? If he say, hey, well, you know what? I told you I don't like it when you do that, but you do this too. So don't act like that. So now there's two issues. So focus on one issue at a time. And then I think you can actually look at your marriage and see how, man, we making progress.
One nugget I would like to add is find you an accountability partner, and not a single person, not your family member, but like a strong married couple to be your accountability partner, to where she can go to the wife and he can go to the husband, and you come back out with a strong foundation, and that person's able to show you your flaws, show you where you could have corrected it, and vice versa. Not to husband bash or to wife bash, but to clearly come out with a foundation of, okay, this is what this is where you are wrong and where you need to go fix it at. Because you can't fix the other person and how they handle the situation. You can only fix yourself. So if you're so stuck on about what he did wrong, you're never going to realize what you did wrong. So you have to find that accountability partner, no matter how much family is there for you regardless. And so when someone hurts you, it's harder for that family member to forgive that person than it is for the friends and than it is for yourself. Because y'all will be past it and the family members will still bring it up or still make little smart remarks, and then that straps the nerve all over again. So find that accountability couple, a strong foundational couple that can walk this walk with you. And even if it's a young couple that's on the same journey that y'all are on, y'all are both going through the same thing, so go through it together.
Right. And then you can learn from each other, because even listening to y'all over here teaching me, you know what I mean? Like we always learning. We always trying to be a sponge. And then I watch people too. Because, you know, there's another little young couple I watch, and I notice he is consistent with opening up her door and everything like that. And I'm not consistent. You know, I tell myself, I'm going to start doing it. It don't last long. And so I'm trying to do things like that. But back to what she was saying about having an accountability partner, and I say this for couples who are struggling in their communication. I remember there was a time to where Antera, if I told her something she wasn't doing right, let's just say it like that, or it's something that I wish you would do it like this, she could go talk to her friend Holly, and Holly will tell her, hey, no, Antoine is right. And sometimes I'm wrong. Don't get me, you know, I make a lot of mistakes. So I don't want nobody to take it wrong. But what I would see is Holly would lead her in the right direction. And so where sometimes I could tell her, hey, Antera, I wish you would work on this. And she may not tell me, yeah, I'm going to work on it. But she go talk to Holly about it. And Holly be like, hey, yeah, you need to work on that. And so when I see that she's working on it and she done fixed it, I don't rub it in her face. I just be like, hey, it's working out. And so it got done. So I just to piggyback on what she said, and we all need community. We all need sisters. We need brothers. We need people who can help us see it when our spouse can't help us see it. Because, like you said earlier, you live with them, you pay bills with them. You know, we do so much together to where sometimes we can't receive wise counsel from our spouse. It just is what it is. You know, I can tell y'all the same thing y'all husbands and telling y'all, and y'all will be like, you know what, you sure right.
He said something right there.
He said something right there.
Yeah.
Y'all husbands telling you the same thing, or even for us husbands, y'all been telling us the same thing, but we hear it from somebody else, and all of a sudden we like, yeah, that's facts. You know, and so we need community in our relationship.
It's beautiful. I'm so excited that we got to do this. This was really great. I really hope that the audience really enjoyed this because this was needed. This is needed for our community, and especially our Black community, because they need to see that we have couples out here that are learning. We are learning how to break generational patterns. We are learning how to communicate with each other. There are healthy Black relationships out there. Now, we're not saying that we're perfect, because I mean, there's no perfect marriage, but whatever works for you and your marriage, that's what works for you in your marriage. Don't compare your marriage to other people's marriages, because if you start comparing your marriages to other people's marriages, that's when you start having friction in your marriage, because you're trying to do what other people doing, or you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you're not a Jones. You a Scott, a Nicholson, a Huckabee, and a Rucker. How about that? But anyways, okay. So before we close, I wanted to make sure that we have some people who are in business. We have some business people on stage. We have some YouTubers on stage. We have someone who runs a church as well. And we need that component of God. So therefore, I'm going to start off with Brianna and Alfred. What you got going on? Tell the people and where they can find you guys.
Okay, so we at our church, we go to Concord, and we were over a grow group, and our grow group we started was called Young, Dope, and Married, finding young couples going through the same thing as how our Bible study started. And so now we actually have a YouTube channel that we just recently started last month, and it's called Young, Dope, and Married. And so it's pretty much going through going through life, being young, being Black, loving one another, vacations. It will be all of that, some good, some bad, and like we said, generational curses and how we can work towards breaking them, finances, just different things like that. So yeah, Young, Dope, and Married on YouTube.
And he's not going to plug it, so I'm going to plug it. My lovely husband here is a business owner of Label Me Exclusive. You can find him on Instagram and on Facebook. It is the event decor, design, all of the above. Y'all go check him out. Like I said, Label Me Exclusive on Instagram and on Facebook.
That goes that romantic creative side. Look at you. You
Brother, I'm gonna be calling you.
Because you don't hear men do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Huckabees? What y'all got going on? Go ahead and tell us.
Well, you can talk about teaching extraordinaire first. You're doing amazing things for the kids.
You're doing amazing.
It's the businesses.
Well, you can tell them what you do, but you can tell them what you do.
Okay. So what I do, I'm an avid teacher in South Fort Worth. I teach 9th and 11th grade, and I'm also the new sponsor for a student leaders anti-racist movement club on campus. And y'all, when I tell you these kids are on fire for change, they are on fire for change. So we are making some change at our school, and it's really exciting to see, because people are like, oh, the children are our future. No, these kids are watching. They are watching, and they're like, look, I don't like how things are going, so we're gonna change some things. So it's really exciting.
But I like the fact that your movement is about positive change, because youth today, they see what's going on, but they always want to handle the situations in a negative way. But I love your, because it shows them how their word of what they have to say makes a change and difference, and not what they put in their hand to make a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like when I think we grew up in a time where, you know, if you're a youth, you don't talk. People don't care what you have to say. They don't care what you have to think. You don't know nothing. But allowing these students to share their voice, like, it gives them so much power, and it gives them so much pride in themselves. And I mean, like, we just had one meeting the other day, but these children, I was blown away. I was like, okay, we got some work to do. What y'all want to do?
Beautiful.
Okay. All right,
Roderick.
Yeah,
Tell people what you do. Let's go.
I do a lot. I am Puck the manager. I manage music artists. I also have my own record label, Royalty Sound Entertainment. Got my little hoodie. Hope y'all can see.
Okay. I see you logo.
You better brand yourself.
There you go, buddy.
So yeah,
this is year 2, right?
Yeah, I've done 2 years. It's that'll be year 3. So
okay. Well, that's good. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the gains, because I think people like Twan said, he was talking about how to hone in onto one problem instead of many problems. It's like a staircase for businesses. Look at the step that you're taking first. Don't look at the whole staircase. Look at that one step you're taking, and then start with the next step. Focus on that, and it'll flourish. Like, I'm proud. I'm very proud of you, bro, and what you're doing. So, and you, Rachel, I'm so proud of you. Like, I love it. Be uncomfortable. Have uncomfortable, courageous conversations about race. Yes. All right, Team Nix, come on, let's go.
We both provide leadership at a little church called G Stop West. On the 4th Sunday, we'll officially make 2 years since we both been serving here. It's been a ride. It's brought a lot out of us, spiritually, of course, but even just as married couples and everything. It's been good for us, but it's been a challenge, a real challenge. And so I'm looking forward to continuing on with that. But anyway, on Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, G Stop West Campus. You can find us a service on Sunday at 10 a.m. And, you know, we're online only right now, but, you know, give us an hour of your time and we're going to have you out.
It's beautiful. And they do have you out like within an hour. It's beautiful. I go to both campuses. So that's what I say. But yeah. All right. For me, well, first of all, my husband.
Hey man, you know, I got this coaching thing called Coach.
Yeah. My husband's the best PE coach and football coach ever. Don't you do that, baby. Don't you do that.
You know, hey, I'm okay. You know, I'm good. But yeah, I'm a PE teacher / coach at Daggett Middle School. Been there for 7 years. Trying to go to high school. So that's my passion, and just helping these young kids. And that's one thing. One thing about it, seeing as a African American male teacher, you know, it speaks volumes, because I didn't know this, but they look up to us. You know, some people don't have that influence. And the thing about it is, as a pastor, as a coach, you know, you, especially as a coach, you know, you've seen everything. I've seen all out of the kids, and it really makes my day when a kid from 3-4 years comes up and Lone will test is, hey, Coach Scott, what's up, man? You know, what's up, brother? Because, you know, they know that I truly care. And that's what we need. And we need young Black, not young, but young Black teachers out there, more of us, because I believe I'm not speaking, but we know what the struggle is. you know, as a young black male, because all of us have been there.
Or even a person of color.
You know, in anything, and me just staring in those kids, man, it's been a whirlwind, and I can't say that I really enjoyed it, and I love my kids, the knucklehead ones, and all of them. Those are the ones you love the most, because those are the ones that go to bat for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's what I'm doing. So just keep praying for me, and you know, just hopefully get to the high school ranks where I want to be a high school coach, OC, hopefully, and then hopefully be an athletic director, head coach. So yeah, that's my goal.
I'm nobody. I'm just chilling on it. Nah.
Lord.
No. In the daytime, I am a 5th grade reading teacher, and during the time, I do the Scariest Fearless Woman. If you would like to join the Scariest Fearless Woman group, you may find us on Facebook, where we empower women to inspire to become their authentic selves. You can also find me on YouTube as well. I always say that this is not me. This is a God thing, because I cannot take credit for what God is ordaining or having me to do at this particular moment. I don't know what he's doing, but it's out of my hands, but he is up to something. I'm a motivational speaker, and in the future, I will be a resilience consultant, praying full time to be that. So y'all just be in prayer with me. I'm also a blogger, so if you would like to read the blogs, you can go to www.thescariousfearlesswoman.com. That is me. I'm LK Scott. Thank you so much for all your patience. Thank you so much for pouring in these chicken nuggets and dipping them with Chick-fil-A sauce. Y'all stay fearless. This is Love and Marriage. We are out.